at Oracles, we are an architectural practice which is multidisciplinary, and with our keen focus on landscape design, we endeavor to always stitch or bring closer that large gap that exists between what we build and what is nature. So that has been our landscape architecture endeavor over so many years, about 26 years of our practice. When it comes to Farmville, I still vividly recall that day when Mr. Kulvinder Suri came to our office and very, very passionately explained to me about what he wished to do with this land that they had aggregated. On that day and then at another meeting in Chandigarh, over those two occasions, his very, very infectious passion took over me too with a storm, and I was into the project, fully dedicated and excited about its outcome. When it came to me as a map, like a typical plotted development, it had a series of lands, pieces of plots that were pierced through a proposed right-of-way, which would be all about giving access to these plots. Now, my thought started with the fact that how could this enthusiasm and seriousness of the promoters be really clubbed with our own keen discernment of what a community like this must have. How could these two come together and create an aspirational living arena called the Farmville? So the big idea that we started with was to create a flowing sweep of nature that would go through and pass through the entire development, as though not only giving access to the plots, but metaphorically carrying the enthusiasm of each of its residents and swelling into a great river of enthusiasm, creating a momentum and energy of a place for people. That's how Farmville started growing. So this meandering flow took the form of a parkway. This parkway would have, of course, a road for access, and the pedestrian priority given along this right of way would speak very, very loudly that it's a community for the people. So there are separate cycle tracks, there are pedestrian paths with comfortable, relaxing points along the walk as you go, and the entire streetscape has been thought of with the idea of giving uniformity and a character to the place, so that its natural elements, the trees, the birds, the people, everything come alive. This meandering sweep would of course connect important places, and one of the most notable landmarks would be the Central Park. And this Central Park has been designed to be like a nature haven with a lot of undulations and an undulating landscape that opens up vistas as you walk through it, with a very, very pretty lake which is going to take shape soon. This park would boast of a beautiful idyllic environment which could really thrive on the energy of people and invigorate all our senses. One more thing that I would like to say here is that the entrance experience to this project was a very important thing for us, because that is where the tone of what Farmville is would be set. So instead of doing a conventional gate, we built two hills on two sides, large planted grassy mounds, through which pierces a stone wall, a very, very natural expression, a cultural expression of how vernacular landscape and architecture would be. And through this wall, you exit from one world and enter into this dream world of Farmville. So this development, I am so happy to say, has been progressing so steadily and painstakingly with regards to following each detail that we have prescribed, that we are happy that this music that we composed is going to be true to its notes and strike a beautiful chord with all the residents and everyone who uses it alike.